Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the 11th video of the Tableau Say Hello series. In this video, we will be going through the worksheet in Tableau Desktop. A worksheet can be considered as the heart of a Tableau visualization, as it is the canvas in the workspace which is used by developers to build visuals for carrying out data exploration and analysis. We can consider this as the space where all the magic happens in Tableau. So, the first question is, how do we navigate to the worksheet in the Tableau workspace? After we connect to a data source in the start page, we will be navigated to the data source page. Here, we can create the data model by dragging the sheets from the connections pane to the canvas area. Once this is done, we need to click on the Sheet 1 tab in the below bar. Above the Sheet 1 tab, a tooltip is visible that says Go to Worksheet. Here is the Tableau worksheet. So, what is the worksheet in Tableau? It is like a blank canvas where we can drag and drop the data from the data pane to build charts, graphs, and all kinds of visual stories. In Tableau, a worksheet is the fundamental building block for data visualization, containing a single view of the data. A worksheet is where we can build views of the data by dragging and dropping fields from the data pane onto shelves and other sections of the Tableau workspace. Just like Excel has different sheets, Tableau can have multiple worksheets inside a workbook. We can have multiple worksheets in a project, each showing a different view of the data while answering a particular question about the data. Let us now try creating a simple bar chart using the sample superstore data set. First, let us rename the worksheet. We'll right click sheet 1 and re- rename it to sales by category. Let us drag and drop the category from the data pane to the column shelf. Next, let us drag and drop the sales measure onto the row shelf. We can resize the chart by dragging when we see a double arrow icon to the desired space. And there we go. We have a bar chart. We can customize it further by dragging and dropping the category again to the color section of the marks card. We can also add labels by dropping sales onto the label section of marks card. If required, we can also sort the view. We can also add a filter. Let's drag and drop the region onto the filters shelf. And here in the dialog box, let us select the central and south members and click OK. We can make it further interactive by right clicking the region on the filter shelf and selecting show filter. Now we can see that we have a filter card which can be used to control the view. Let's now Take a look at the Tableau Worksheet interface. Over on the left side, we have the data pane. This is where we find all the data fields split into dimensions and measures. Dimensions are present above the gray line, while the measures are present below the gray line. Dimensions are things we can group by, like region, category, and the measures are numeric values like sales and profit. Next, at the top of the canvas, we have the columns and the rows shelf. When we drag a field to the column shelf, we will get all the members laid out horizontally. Alternatively, if we drag a field to the rows shelf, the members will be laid out vertically. The rows and the column shelves help in defining the structure of the chart. Next, we have the pages shelf. This shelf lets us break the view into a series of pages. Next, we have the filter shelf. In this case, we have dragged the region field onto the filter shelf. It can allow us to specify which data to include or exclude in the view. Then we have the marks card. This little section helps in controlling the chart. We can drag fields to different properties in the marks card, like the color, size, label, and tooltips. This helps in adding context and detail to the marks in the view. The marks card is a key element for visual analysis in Tableau. On the right side, we'll see the Show Me pane. It gives us the various chart recommendations based on the fields we are using in the view. This will be a great helper for beginners. On the top of the view, we see the sheet title. By default, the name that we enter for the sheet tab is displayed here. However, if required, we can edit the title as per our requirement. We can change the text and include dynamic values such as page number and sheet name. Down at the bottom are the worksheet tabs. This is where we can switch between worksheets, dashboards, and stories. And finally, up on top, there is a toolbar which has the quick tools for undo, redo, and sort, and even exporting the view. Apart from what was covered here, there are other basic elements in the view in Tableau that any user will become used to after working on the interface for some duration of time. Among these elements are field labels, marks, legends, axes, headers, and captions. Next, let us check the various options available in the context menu of a worksheet. If we right click the sheet tab, we get a context menu that displays the various actions that can be carried out for the worksheet. We can right click the sheet tab and then select new worksheet from the menu. This creates a blank new worksheet. We can also create a new dashboard and new story in the similar manner. We can right click the sheet tab and select rename from the menu. This will highlight the sheet name and we can make the required changes to the sheet name. We can right click the sheet tab and select duplicate from the menu. This creates a new version of the worksheet that we can modify without affecting the original sheet. The duplicated sheet contains all the same fields and the settings as a starting point for new analysis. We can right click the Sheet tab and select Duplicate as Cross tab from the menu. This inserts a new worksheet into the workbook and populates the sheet with a cross tab view of the data from the original worksheet. There are other options like copy formatting and color, where we can set the required color to the desired worksheets from this selection of color palette. Next, let us go through a few quick tips when working in a Tableau worksheet. Right clicking almost on anything in Tableau gives us a context menu which can be used for further formatting or other customization options. In this view, we can right click the sales measure which is on the row shelf, and from the context menu, let us select show filter. This displays the filter card for the sales measure. We can make use of the show me panel in the top right hand side of the workspace when we are not sure what chart to build, but this must be done with care as it might lead to further confusion if we are not clear with the question that we want to ask the data. We can hover over any part of the chart to see the tooltips. And yes, we can customize those too. These are small informational windows that appear when we hover over a data point, providing supplementary information like values, labels, or other data relevant to the visualization, enhancing the user experience and further data understanding. We can click on the Analytics pane, which is just beside the data pane on the sidebar, to add analytics objects like trend lines, reference lines, and focus into the chart. For this view, we can drag and drop the average line into the view and get the average sales for the entire table to compare with the sales of each member in the view. This completes the video on the Tableau worksheet. Alright, let's recap the main points covered in this video. Now you know what a Tableau worksheet is. You have explored the key areas of the worksheet interface. And finally, you have also built your first visualization in Tableau. If you have found this video useful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for the latest updates. I will meet you in my next video. Until then, take care and bye.